How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we have a breakdown of a 4% trade that we did trading news, which is, it's not something I would recommend, and you know that I don't recommend it. However, this did fit with the strategy, and it was almost like the news set up the trade. So I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you what we did, how we took it. It was a great trade, very happy with it. And yeah, we're going to get over to the charts. If you guys want to know a bit more about how I trade, there'll be a link to my private channel in the description. Go and check it out. There's no pressure to, but if you would like to, feel free. We're building a very nice community over there with some very nice people and some good traders. So feel free to check it out if you want. Without further ado, we're going to go over to the charts and we're going to explain and show you the trade that I took. Oh, and actually, somewhere on the screen here will be the entries that I took, just to show I took the position, I guess. But yeah, anyway, let's go on to the charts. Alright, so this is the position that we took. As you can see here, it was a 1 to 2.5, but as you'll see from the picture, we had multiple different entries, which is why I ended up being 4%. But yeah, so let's get into how we took this. So first things first, as you know, with my sort of strategy, we always focus on structure. That's like the important thing. So what are we looking at structure wise? Well, you can see that we have the low and we have the high, and you can see obviously we're breaking up the highs. That's a bullish trend, quite simply put. But then what happened is we had this. So we had the high here, then we had a high here, and we had a low. Now this low pushed down. Not only did it break this low, but it also broke the low that made this high. So that's important. That's our first sort of sign that we are going bearish, because we're breaking the lows that made the high, and we've also broken this minor low that produced the new high that was also lower than this high. So now our bias has switched to bearish, right? So how do we look for entries? So firstly, we could have initially actually got in this area here like this, with a little bit of structure here, and sold off. Now, the reason I didn't do this was just because I just wasn't at the charts, quite simply put. So we didn't get in there, but that would have been the first entry. The second entry, however, would have been where we got in, which was here. Now, what happened was we're still bearish, right? News came out here and we pushed up. Now, because I knew we were bearish, I was very, very confident in news wanting to keep selling, right? But obviously, with news, it will normally push up, then sell off to stop out anyone getting in early or holding news, things like that. So that was why I wanted to wait for news to open, and then I would get in the sell, obviously sell high, buy low. You know how it works, don't need to tell you that. So obviously we had this structure point from earlier, just drew it across, and let me just move it like that, drew it across like that. And as you can see, we tagged right back in with the push up from news, and we got our first two entries in this area like this. Then obviously news began to sink like so, and then when it came back into this area, because we closed down here, this also made this bit of structure valid to trade off. So that is why we entered again here, because not only was this now legitimate, but because we hadn't closed, up here, and we'd actually closed in the zone that I would have sold from initially without news, it meant that we were good to enter there as well. And then, as you can see, after we entered here and then here and here, price plummeted down to our TP. Now, the reason why the TP wasn't super big or like down here or anything like this is for the fact that, if I just move it back, is for the fact that if we look actually at zooming out, what can we see? An uptrend. So we are still probably bullish on the higher time frames, which is something you do need to be aware of when you're trading the lower ones. Now, if I was holding for a 1 to 3, like normal, when price failed to break this low twice with this wick here and this wick here, I would have got out in this area here, because that's just, you know, if we're not breaking lows, it's clearly not going to sell when we want it to. So I don't want to be in the position when that happens. But yeah, it was quite a, let me move that back. It was quite an easy, simple trade. It was sort of using the news momentum to boost it, but it was still in line with the strategy that I was using. And we took home a nice 4%, which is quite nice. So I'm not going to complain about that. But that was basically how we took the trade. So I appreciate everyone from watching the video. You know, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful, educational, you know, something like that. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit the like, and stick around for some more content coming, because I've got lots of ideas and lots more time to, you know, put into them now. So don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.